This is what concerns firefighters the most, this old dry brush that could easily burn out of control. And learning how to snowmobile is easy. You just have the brake, the kill switch if you get into trouble, and the gas. Now this tree is a prime example of what many trees around the Black Hills looks like. You can see right here it has broken branches, and now 10 out of 63 teams will be competing tonight. Now I'm here with Tom Coulihan and our horses, Seven and Banana Peel. Tell me what we can expect here tonight. Drew is a lifelong resident of Rapid City. She started her own business when she was 22 years old. She's been in rock bands. Mount Rushmore Road group meeting was the question of having wider sidewalks for bicycles. Holds the world record for the largest collection of teddy bears, and every bear in the collection is labeled with who it's from and where. It's another cold and chilly morning out here. The road conditions are still slick and it is a little bit slippery. Well, tonight was a big win for the gossiped Oscar frontrunner American Hustle. The tree's right over here. The Potter family we have singing all evening. According to the Department of Public Safety, one person in the U.S. dies every hour from not putting on their seatbelt. With a new kids website allowing safe and easy browsing of children's ebooks and audiobooks. Well, people are just now starting to filter in for the meeting on expanding the Civic Center, which is beginning here tonight at 6 o'clock.
To say this was one of the most painful things was the rumor that was going around that Rainbow Bible Ranch wouldn't be in operation.
The road to recovery, proving to be a long process. But ranch owners Larry and Robin Reinhold are determined and say they will have summer camp as usual.
And we're excited about spring coming so we can get back in the saddle and get out.
The camp hosting nearly 400 kids throughout the summer, using horses to reach out to the campers. And the rancher relief check they received, giving the family room to breathe.
Very, very helpful just in operation day to day. You know, it took the pressure off just a little bit.
Pressure built up from an estimated $250,000 loss. But the Reinholds say it's difficult to put a price tag on it.
Many of these horses they weren't for sale, so to put a price on them is very, very difficult.
Losing 90 head of horses during the blizzard, the Reinholds were able to purchase new, well-trained horses at this year's stock show.
I don't know if there's a day that goes by that we don't think about it or we aren't impacted by it. I'm sure there is, and there's days that there's still tears flow, but I think that comes from the heart. It's not just looking at the pocketbook.
A very personal tragedy for the family. Their horses, more like family members.
We found the rest of our horses and they were all dead. And that hit our family really hard. You just kind of felt like the air was taken out of you.
Neighbors coming together with a new sense of community, feeling the loss for each other.
You realize that was your lifeblood, so to say, of the ranch. It may have been what helped pay the bills, but it's not what makes the place run, and it's not what makes a community operate. It's so much more than that.
Hearing from people in 40 different states, the response overwhelming.
It brings people together in the face of hard times. When you have ranch families that come alongside of you, and they're from 150 miles away, and they realize it could have been them. And they bring Christmas presents to your kids, people that you've never met.
People reaching out over their enclosed barbed wire fences, the community outpour helping to rebuild after the storm.
The water running through the Cheyenne River, so contaminated you can't drink it, but you would never know by looking.
You couldn't drink it, couldn't cook with it, couldn't make coffee with it, couldn't do anything with it.
Only small signs lining the roads nearby, reading danger, keep out.
The dosage that we got here at this river here is at maximum contaminant level.
A dosage of radiation at above accepted standards for safety. What the coordinator for the Clean Up the Mines project calls the lasting legacy of uranium mining in the Black Hills. Levels measured again this week to raise awareness of the risk.
He walked around yesterday with a Geiger counter that had, elevated readings practically everywhere we went. We have a very dangerous substance here, which people are being exposed to in dust, in our water.
The project focusing on educating the public and demanding a change. More than 250 abandoned uranium mines affecting South Dakota.
I worry about my neighbors. I worry about my son and my grandchildren and their children.
Testing water as far as Yankton on the east side of the state, and always finding the same thing, traces of radiation. What's been their response to seeing this?
Shock. It hits.
Hot Springs resident Jerry Baker worked on 2 cleanup sites and now wants people to know the impact the mines have on their health.
Clean this mess up. It's been going for so many years, but you can stop it. So why not stop it?
However, with the PowerTech Uranium Corporation given the green light for new claims in the Black Hills, concerns grow, especially for the youth. The Ludlow Elementary School, just 200 yards away from an abandoned mine, has radiation levels 10 times the evacuation threshold in Japan. What Baker says should be a crisis situation, demanding a serious response.
I'm a mom, I'm a neighbor, I'm a friend. You just don't mess with kids. I mean, everybody knows that. That's it.
It's been 5 months since the devastating October blizzard hit the Black Hills area, and a Rapid City Tree Company says the cleanup is far from over.
About 20%, I would say, of the damage caused by the storm has been cleaned up. There's another 80% that's still out there. Aerial stuff that needs to be trimmed, trees that need to be climbed, trees that need aerial truck access.
Crews are working around the clock and have been since Storm Atlas, without a break in sight.
We haven't had a break since the blizzard, except for the sub-freezing, very, very cold temperatures that we've had this winter.
Pushing routine maintenance to the back burner, Johnson says cleanup is a long process, taking years.
It's devastating. It's heartbreaking. It's not, by any stretch of the imagination, a good thing.
Homeowner Marietta Brodsky's backyard mimics many around the Black Hills. Snapped tree branches and completely bent trunks.
It was miserable. And then to look out and see the damage, there was a big branch that was laying right here.
The view from her house completely changed.
It's going to be very different this summer because a lot of the shade will be gone. And it was always very shady, where I hardly even needed an umbrella on my picnic table, but I will need it this year.
The Johnson Tree Company crews say that on any given street, it is rare to see a tree without any broken branches or storm damage. The structural damage of most trees so severe, homeowners will have to take them out.
Good 50 to probably 70% of the trees in this town have been damaged beyond repair.
Expanding hours, putting in overtime, and working on weekends to keep up with demand.
The only silver lining to this storm is that there will be some major new tree plantings. That's the only silver lining to this major tree damaging storm.
An Amber Alert.
A sound many South Dakotans woke up to Thursday morning. The first Amber Alert in Rapid City Police Department history. 2 children kidnapped from their Rapid City home and the mother left brutally beaten.
In my history here at the department, aside from a domestic violence homicide, this is one of the most brutal, terrorizing domestic violence incidents that I've been a part of. The assault was brutal. He assaulted the children's mother, stomping on her head, kicking her entire body, and he choked her and he cut her, including stabbing her in the leg with a knife.
27-year-old Sky Burnham Endicott trespassed and violently assaulted his ex-girlfriend at her home just after 11 p.m. Then took their 2 small children, threatening to kill them and making suicidal threats.
The children were in great risk. One is 1 month old, the other is 1 year old. The suspect made an attempt to fill the bathtub while threatening to drown them. He eventually fled with the children, and one was only wearing a diaper.
Burnham Endicott having no custodial rights, detectives worked quickly throughout the night, searching more than 1,200 homes and issuing an Amber Alert across the state, believing Burnham Endicott to be armed and dangerous.
Extreme efforts were used to resolve this case quickly. We felt that it was important to wake up the neighborhood, to have them alerted to the circumstances that we were dealing with in their neighborhood.
Police found Burnham Endicott at an acquaintance's house at the Knollwood Apartments at 8:50 Thursday morning, the same apartment complex his ex-girlfriend lives in.
We were working very quickly, as you can see throughout the night, to compile all this information, but once that information goes out, again, it goes nationwide, so we had to get all of the information, verify its accuracy.
Burnham Endicott was cooperative when taken into custody. About 30 to 40 officers worked on the case throughout the night.
It was an extremely impressive multi-agency investigation that went through the entire night while most of Rapid City was sleeping, and I'm very relieved to say that we had a very good outcome.
Burnham Endicott is now facing charges of kidnapping, aggravated assault, and domestic violence. The case still remains under investigation. Reporting from Rapid City, Stephanie Kayser, News Center.